open the meeting at 7:04 for the school board meeting, September 9th here in the district board meeting. Everybody stand for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first order of the agenda is additions, deletions, amendment to the agenda and adoption of the agenda. I think we have one addition to the business portion, overnight request from the FFA to the Lower Willamette District FFA Leadership Camp, location Falls City, Oregon, September 17th and 18th. The National FFA Convention location in Indianapolis, Indiana, October 25th, to November 2nd. And the State FFA Convention location, Redmond, Oregon, from March 19th to the 26th.
I move we adopt the agenda as amended.
Okay. Oh, and one other thing we're gonna do, the public comment that's actually at the end of the agenda, we're gonna move to right before the executive session. So everybody doesn't have to hang around.
And Larry, we can't vote until we do this.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about you. You weren't here last meeting. So go ahead, Terry.
And I do this. Hang on, I got this. I, Terry Paysinger, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Oregon, and the laws thereof, as well as the policies of the Dayton School District. I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of school board member to the best of my ability during the term for which I have been appointed.
You're on the 4 more years.
Who gets this?
Okay. So you can read your motion.
Yeah, I would move that we adopt the consent agenda, the agenda as amended.
Okay, there's a motion to accept the additions, deletions, amendments to the agenda and adopt the agenda by Director Albright. Second by Director Sweeney. There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 7-0. Okay. So this will bring us to community comments on the agenda items. So it looks like we have a couple. This is an opportunity for district citizens to speak on agenda items. Statements should be brief, limited to 3 minutes, and should not reflect adversely on the background, character, or motives of any individual. Those who wish to speak on non-agenda items will have a chance at the end of the meeting. So let's keep it civil, nice, nothing directed at anybody. So Benji, we're gonna let you go first. You're speaking about the plaque, right?
It's the first great athlete I ever saw.
Hey, Perry or Ben?
Harry.
Benji, you're speaking about the plaque, yes?
Oh,
You're speaking about the plaque?
speaking about the two issues that are at hand.
Okay, you're gonna speak about the plaque now, okay, and then the second issue later.
Okay. For I know the plans I have for you. Plans to protect you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hardly something anybody should bitch about, being on a plaque for the most important person that's passed away in the recent future. A high school student at Dayton. So I'm here to say, I want that plaque to stay. I think it's a great honor for a superhuman being. He was one of the most positive people I ever met or coached. And I'm very disappointed that somebody, community member or members, would take issue with that. Obviously, That's not from the New Testament. That's from the Old Testament. So it should not be an issue for anybody. If you had an issue with that, then this probably ain't the place for you. If you complained about it to not one or two or three administrators and they all told you we're not getting rid of the plaque, then you should have ceased and desist. So I just want to say thank you guys for not bowing to the pressure of one loud voice. And I appreciate you guys being strong. That leads right into my next one. I can't do the next one too.
No,
Well, the hardest part about doing this is, number one, when you're blind, you put your shoes on the wrong feet, your pants, your pants are inside out. Oh, thank God. Thank you. But the other thing is, you never know if you're going to suck the air out of the room. Who said that?
Nope, you're fine there too.
Or if you're going to light up the room. So I really hope that people agree we should honor people that were important to us. It was the hardest thing the community ever had to go through when he passed away, and we're still just barely recovering right now. Thank you.
thank you, Benji. Okay, Michael Packer. State your name and your address.
My name's Michael Thacker. I live at 120 West 19th Street in Lafayette. Kids go to Dayton. I'd like to also address the memorial. Not sure if it's been removed, and I hope it's not. However, for Ethan Kearns, a student who passed away from cancer, the fact that a Bible verse was part of the memorial should not be grounds for its removal. As someone else who is Jewish and also a lay leader in the military, there's no reason that it should be coming down. It wasn't about anything other than for him and his family. This was not about promoting religion in schools. It was about honoring a child's memory, his life, and his family's grief. To strip that away because of a single verse is not protecting neutrality. It's erasing compassion. The school reflects empathy and respect for all students, including those we have lost. I think it should stay.
Quinn Johnston.
I really appreciate this opportunity to be able to speak here this evening. I graduated from Dayton in June, and as my senior project, I added the memorial plaque and tree to the school's courtyard for a member of our school's football team and our community. At the beginning of the summer, I think most of us here probably know what's going on, but the plaque had a complaint filed against it due to a religious quote. I wanted the quote to be on the plaque because of what that verse meant to the family, not to single anyone out or discriminate against other religions. I would like to apologize if this did offend anybody. That was really not my intent. I would never intentionally single out any religion or discriminate against anyone in any way. I think most of us know what the verse on the plaque is, but I will be reading it as it is written in the Old Testament. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I saw a post on Facebook that the complaint against the memorial was filed because of a child being harassed because of her religion. If that is the case, the harassment and bullying is completely unacceptable, and I will stand with that student if she chooses to take action against the bullies who are making those comments. That being said, I believe it is unfair to take out parental frustrations with those students against a memorial that had nothing to do with that situation. This does not mean that I condone bullying in the slightest. I have absolutely zero tolerance for it. I just think that filing a complaint against a memorial was not the correct way to go about trying to put a stop to any type of bullying that could have been happening. I like to make it clear that when I designed the plaque, it did not cross my mind that the Bible verse could have been taken the wrong way and offended anyone. I was not thinking about it from a religious standpoint. I was simply thinking of it as a verse that was helping a family through a difficult time. It's honestly disappointing to think that if this were a verse of poetry or a quote from a different piece of literature, then we wouldn't be having these discussions today. I hope the complainant will consider redirecting their frustrations about the bullying issues so we can begin to put a stop to that, instead of spending time refuting something that was meant to bring people together in remembrance of a life that was lost. We are here today discussing this memorial because someone of Jewish faith feels that their family and religion is being discriminated against, which in my opinion is not the case with this plaque. I would like to remind everyone one more time what the verse on the plaque is. You might notice a couple small differences in wording this time because I'll be reading the same verse as it is written in the Jewish Bible. For I know the thoughts I have for you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Thank you again for allowing me to speak, and if anyone has any questions for me, I am more than happy to talk to you at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Quinn. Is there anybody else that wanted to, I know you folks came in late. Do you want to talk about the plaque or any?
Well, I want to talk about the guy that, or a certain individual that complained about the plaque. Is that okay?
That's later in the meeting.
It's got my feelings crushed. Thank you.
State your name and your address for
I'm
the
Catherine Mywet. My
name
name-
and address.
Oh, my address, my home address?
Yeah.
Well,
Record.
okay. So I'm Catherine Nelson Davis and I live 16680 Southeast Woodland Heights Road, Amity.
Okay.
So I just wanted to say that I feel, and that was beautiful, by the way. That was absolutely beautiful and so brave and really helpful to understand. I guess, you know, my job as a school counselor, if you guys don't know, I'm the junior high counselor. And I just feel like my role is kind of in the middle of a lot of the stakeholders. Just I'm kind of right in the middle. And so I feel like this was really an opportunity if there was something about the plaque that the other family felt like could be different, to work to learn more about the family, to learn more about the student, and honor and work together to find a way to honor the student that would be acceptable to both groups. Like work together. That's the spirit that we have, is that we work together, that we're a community, that we help each other and share information so that we can, you know, we're not going to have exact ideas about things, but with something that important, especially knowing that the family worked so hard, that you worked so hard to build that in a way that would honor him, honor Ethan, and be beautiful. Like when I first saw it, I literally walked and I'm like, wow, that is really beautiful. And it looks so nice. And then I walked and I saw the plaque and it just like, it just gets you in your heart, you know, to think about their family who for many generations have served the community, have worked at the school. I mean, they're an amazing family and they've done so much for this community, and to have that happen to them is just incredibly sad. I mean, what a great kid he was, you know, and for them to honor him and for you to honor him in that way, I just feel like is so appropriate. And, you know, I really felt like it was an opportunity for the students, for the child this family has, to show that, you know, they could work together on something that would also honor Ethan. And that's what I wish would have happened. And so that's just what I want to say.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else know about the plaque? Okay. Oh, what's that?
Alicia's raising her hand.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I be heard?
Years.
It says Alicia Wilson, but that's because I'm at home, so it's actually Justin Wilson Gabor. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Hi, I'm Justin Wilson Gabor. Live in Kaiser, Oregon. I'm just here since I am the one, and it is known that I'm the one that put in the complaint about the plaque with my family. I first want to let you all know it's called the Torah. That book that keeps referencing, that you keep trying to reference as the Jewish Bible, is actually called the Torah. This is a part of what that cultural learning aspect of your district goal is. That would be one of those things. To make note of why we wanted it done, this again, so that the community can hear, because I know that it is not being passed on to them. We did not actually ask for the plaque to be removed. We asked for the plaque. Well, actually, we didn't get to ask anything. The purpose for it is not just the bullying or harassment that my daughter came home and told us about, but the initial question for us is it legal? This isn't a moral issue. This isn't an ethical issue. I can't imagine losing a child. There's nothing more difficult in the world, I think, than losing a loved one, let alone I can't imagine my own daughter. And my heart goes out to that family. And one of the things that we talked about is making sure that Ethan's memory was kept alive and positive. And in our discussion, we wanted to make that point. If you were at the last board meeting, you would have heard Miss Wilson state that the last thing that anyone wanted to do was upset the family or friends of the young man. But what we wanted to point out is that's what was going to happen. And that's what's happening, because it is deeply rooted in research, and a doctor of education should know this, that religious plaques in public spaces has a rise in violence and harassment. This is not data that you can question. And so the last thing that I would say is the truth is that not everybody in the audience knows what's going on. And so that's for us and for the districts to handle. But we actually weren't going to ask for the plaque to be removed. We were going to ask that the plaque be moved to the football field, which is relevant to where the young man played, where also there are other types of monuments. And that is what the group who voted on having it made actually wanted it to be. How it got to the middle of the courtyard is unknown. And so that's all that I have to say. Thank you for our time, and keep hanging on, man.
He a community member?
What?
Was he a community member? You said Kaiser, he lives in Kaiser?
Yes, but he has a right to speak. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to the consent agenda, which is approval of the regular board meeting minutes from last month, approval of special board meeting minutes from August 12th, 2025, and the confirmation of employment of 4 new employees.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Okay, there's been a motion by Director Wojtowski to approve the consent agenda as presented and seconded by Director Coleman. There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. 2, 5, 6.
I'm abstaining because I wasn't here.
Yeah, okay. Motion passes 6-0 with 1 abstention. Okay, reports, FFA fair report, Mitch.
That's true. And it's already green. Yeah, I didn't know that I'd ever be back to do this report, but it's exciting. Our kids, of course, in the summer, did an amazing job. We ended up with 120 kids at the county fair, and those kids generated $350,000 of sales. So it's awesome, and it's always awesome to watch. And as I continue to reflect, it's everything that we do is about relationships, and it takes a lot of relationships to build a base of support that will come to the county fair and support our kids. When I look at all the things that I've done over the years, the one thing that is true always is that kids learn more in the opportunity to raise animals because they start in April or, April or May. And in that process, they get to raise an animal, they get to care for it, they get to learn how to feed, they get to learn how to fit. They have to market their animals, so they also have to write. I can't tell you how many kids learn to write a signature because we don't teach cursive and we don't teach signatures anymore. So when they had to sign their contracts and stuff, they have to learn to do a signature. But in the final process, they go to the fairs, they demonstrate in front of people and do things that they're not used to. They have to talk to individuals and adults, and then it all works when they make the money and they get to use it in this community. And so overall, it's just a really, really positive thing. There's numbers of kids when I look around here from generations that have all been a part of this thing and raising animals and stuff. With that said, then we went to State Fair and I had about 20 kids at State Fair. And they took animals to the State Fair. We had pigs and we had sheep and goats, and all the kids got to show. Kendra showed a goat and a sheep. Did you show your goat? Yeah, she showed that. And when we were done, we also take nursery plants, we take crops, we take a lot of stuff. But what we really want in our group is that we're all about community, and our whole all the things that we do is working together. And State Fair is that culmination where kids learn that it's not just about them. We do herdsmanship, which is keeping the place clean and doing those. And they have work schedules, and all the kids are really accountable to doing herdsmanship. And it seems like a small thing, but it's a monumental thing when it comes to all of it. And we take our nursery plants that we've all worked together, and it stops being about me, an individual, and about we, the group. And so we took 6 banners home from the State Fair. We were first in herdsmanship in 2 or 3 areas. We were first in nursery and second in crops, and first in fruit. But it isn't about the banners, and it's never been about the banners. It's about teaching kids responsibility, teaching kids that working together and doing things together is the most important thing that we can teach. And, and especially as I sit here today and I hear this and the struggles and the things that go on and the rumors and all that stuff, guys, it is about us. And this is a community, and I love being here and I love this. I'm a little sad because Claire, made a decision, and so that y'all know, and Claire wouldn't be upset. It was Claire, and Claire just really decided in her heart that she didn't want to be a teacher. It was too much for her, and it wasn't where she wanted to be. And she was going for it, and she was going for it because of me. And I looked at her on that Thursday night and I said, if this isn't what you love, then don't do it. I've loved it for 35 years. I can't tell you that of the experience that FFA has done for thousands of kids and for me, but for Claire, it just wasn't the right spot. And I said, if you're miserable, then I'm going to be miserable for the whole time. So if this isn't what you want to do, then make the decision. And she chose to resign at that moment. And so what we've decided as a group is that I'll do FFA in the fall, and we're going to look to hire someone in and work to get a teacher on the ground here in the fall and get their feet underneath them, and then be ready in second semester to teach ag. And then hopefully I'll do animals again with kids, and that we keep the program moving in that direction. Even with us, with all the discussions, it's hard not to feel hurts and to be upset about things. And we struggle, and I hear rumors about FFA, and I hear rumors about what administration's doing, and I hear rumors about all sorts of things. And if you're worried, you just got to ask. You got to be up front. You got to be there. And in 35 years of working in a school district, I've had challenges, and I've had to deal with lots of different things, and I know we can do that together. What's most important is the kids of this community. And I am so blessed to be here and this is my home. This is where I live, but it's the place that I've got to teach and work with people all the time. And I just look around, and every day I'm blessed with those opportunities. I am asking for us to go to leadership camp, to national convention and state convention. Whether I'm the leader at the time of state convention, I just know those are overnight requests that we know are going to come and that we're going to go and we'll be there. So thank you again for this opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
Mitch, thank you. I mean, for everything. I wanted to ask you something, if I could put you on the spot.
Yep.
It's a great highlight of how we're getting in the community through this program. And if I can just take a quick moment, we have been investing in our community liaisons for a number of years now.
Oh, yeah, I should have said that.
So that, okay, you know where I'm going
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
I'll leave it to you then.
Well,
Would you mind just sharing what you guys are doing there?
Again, one of the highlights this summer is reaching out into our community, and we're 30-40% Hispanic in our schools and our communities. And I can tell you it was Kevin Ortiz. Yeah. And 2 years ago or 3 years ago, he was out and his parents were there. We were at my house. We're having a training day. And I started to do a lot of explanations and I was telling them what was going on. And his parents would look at me and shake their head. And I was saying, well, if you have any questions, and they just would shake their head. Well, I knew they didn't understand all what I was saying. And at that time we have two liaisons, one at the junior, grade school, one up here. And Anna Lundgren came up and we talked about it. And she started to come to every meeting. She came in with Kevin's parents that summer and anybody else, Jimenez, Jimena and some other people, and got to then talk about what we do and where we're at. This summer, out of 120 kids, we had 40 Hispanic students that got to take advantage of what we do and the way that we do it through our liaisons, through Anna Lundgren. And every meeting, they'd all have their headphones on and I would talk and she would translate, and it was flawless and really took the opportunity. We had two girls at Fair that really don't speak English, would have never got to have this opportunity. And I personally think it's one of the highlights of all that I've ever done, is to be able to include everybody and give them those opportunities that they may not have got. And I know that's what you're talking about. And I meant to talk about that, but it gets kind of emotional sometimes up here. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for letting me be here.
Okay, Norma, food service, normal. Our food service is always way above normal. Yeah. No, you're far from normal.
Not for a minute, not enough cookies now, but yes. And there are gluten-free options that are inside the basket, so yes. In honoring of, had no idea it was gonna be such a packed house tonight, by the way. So, well, first of all, I would like to say that this has been a pretty crazy start to a new school year, but we all know that would be an understatement. And yet, even among the chaos and the craziness, there's a new attitude, especially in the food service department. I'm starting year 26 as a lunch lady here. And I have never thought about how much leading a team of employees is like coaching, but it truly is. This year, my squad, my team, feels connected, supportive of one another, and dedicated to a common goal of overcoming obstacles and making our department dreams and ideas into reality. I can't tell you how good it feels to truly know and believe that we all are present for one another. I had a 20+ year employee that moved on to pursue goals that she had. That was 2 weeks before school started, at a time when there were some major changes in my scheduling, by the way, for our department. By the way, I should have been worried, but instead, Heather, which was my latest employee at the grade school, stepped up to join us at the high school, move on, and learn to be a cook and a lunch lady at a much different environment, and she's killing it. It's a way different environment at the junior high and high school than it is at the grade school, and she's like, okay, I'll come learn to do all the things. So she and I are cooking every day and doing all the things and making the magic, and she's amazing. Rose, who's breakfast and all things to do with baking at the high school, has been here. She said she was born with the grade school. I'm not. When I re-inherited Lunch Lady Land in 2020, she came with it. And she's been wonderful. So she remained at calm and positive, even when I told her that she's going to be taking her breakfast game on the road. She's still like just rolling with it like lunch ladies do, because we don't say pivot. Whoever says pivot, we don't like that. And after COVID, we no longer pivot, but we roll with lots of things. Sherry Jolliffe is my rock at the grade school. She makes sure that all of our students there have amazing homemade goodies. They have meals made with love and lots of stickers. Sherry has a thing about stickers. But I was so proud. The first day of school, we walk in and without even planning it, one whole kitchen made homemade banana chocolate chip muffins at the grade school. One whole kitchen, without planning it, made banana chocolate chip pancakes at the high school, complete with sausage, all the things that you would want to welcome when you love people with food. And you can't plan that, you can't train that. You just have to hope that it happens. Sarah Miley, she's the queen of all fruits and vegetables. Breakfast and repeating 500 times what's for lunch is an awesome supportive attitude. She never questions anything. She might roll her eyes a teeny tiny bit, but whatever it is, it's a can-do attitude, and that's what we need. She never hesitates to help make it happen. Even when our freezers go down the day before, and all the things that we had to do to move product and make it all work after that first week. I'm so excited about what this year will bring. A new employee, new recipe, changes in serving times and schedules. Did I mention that already? That there's changes in, did I mention that already? And none of that we could even begin to achieve without amazing support of our board, our admin team, which is awesome, teachers, community members, our custodial staff, which I could not live without. Otto and his team is amazing. And most importantly, the students who come to see us every day. So here's to Lunch Lady Land, and thank you so much for having us tonight. So, yeah. This is collectively now, as I said before at breakfast, but now with my one lady gone. So this is collectively 60 years worth of love and employment at the Dayton School District that we represent. So, yeah. And enjoy the 50.
Okay, business and finance is up next.
All right, this report is on behalf of Deanne O'Neill and Jan Bunn. The fiscal office is responsible for implementing and maintaining robust internal controls to ensure that financial statements are free from any material misstatements. We are in the process of reestablishing clear and concise financial reporting protocols that will be utilized for audit purposes and for future reporting to the board and the superintendent, ensuring transparency and accountability in our financial practices. Our recent focus has been on two main areas: preparing for the first big payroll and getting ready for the audit in late October. The September payroll is always a heavy load to ensure that staff are paid according to their respective contracts and that their deductions and benefits have been updated and entered correctly. This requires attention to detail and a lot of hard work to check and recheck by multiple staff members who are also answering questions and meeting the daily needs of the school community. The audit preparation involves a deep dive into numbers and entries as we are reconciling accounts and balancing funds. Our approach has been to prepare the audit as if we had been here throughout the entire year. We will do our best to ensure the transactions have been accurately presented with appropriate documentation, and we will be making corrections and adjustments where necessary. We'll provide a financial update in October, which will include the estimated beginning fund balance. We appreciate the support of the board, superintendent, business director, and the office staff as we tackle these challenges.
Go Jan and Deanne.
Go Jan and Dan.
And now the superintendent's report.
All right, I wrote something for this evening, and I did run it by Isaac and Nicole prior to reading it. I never met Ethan Kearns. I first came to know him through the stories former board member Debbie Kearns would tell about her granddaughter, the cousins as she would refer to them. It wasn't until his memorial service that I really got to feel the reach of his life and his passing had on our community and on the individuals in it. His legacy is one of unity and of teamwork, if you will. In fact, many would speak to the very real void he left on his football team,
not only through the loss of his life, but the loss of his leadership. Our staff reported many of our players floundered to figure out who they were and what they stood for. They struggled to step up as the role models they were tasked with being. It was not the inspiring next chapter of a story that people would be eager to tell, but rather it's the reality that those of us who work with teenagers were prepared to expect, helping them navigate their way through losing a friend and a teammate that left them far too early. Someone said recently that Ethan Kearns was not a student at Dayton High School. I know I'm relatively new to Dayton, but even a newbie like me knows the only place that would be true is in our enrollment reports. Ethan Kearns was as much everyone's student as Bill Stoller was everyone's business advisor. Juanita is everyone's grandmother. Benji, everyone's crazy uncle. No offense, Benji. And Dewey Sullivan, everyone's coach. This is the Dayton I have come to know and love, a tiny little town that functions more like a giant family composed of what all families are made of: loyalty, love, Friday night gatherings, a little dysfunction, and long-lasting traditions fiercely protected as if they were family heirlooms. Many school districts shy away from allowing memorials of students. It's easier to avoid the risk. Many districts also shy away from allowing Christmas trees in the halls, condoning seniors' pranks, or orchestrating May dances that have origins tied to invoking fertility. But without tradition, without a clear set of values, families exist solely by virtue of relation, not by devotion, dedication, or soul. I'm a firm believer in ensuring all students feel their school environment is inclusive and in it, that they can find representation of their beliefs, their cultures, and life experiences. If you analyze my decisions over the course of the last few years I've served as superintendent, I think you'll find that every decision I've made has placed students at the center of our priorities. Choosing what to allow to remain in the curriculum is a decision centered on the rights of our students. Choosing to allow students to erect a memorial that includes a religious inscription is a decision centered on the rights of our students. Who I have decided to hire and fire is also centered on students and is solely based on who can bring the level of leadership and dedication our students need and deserve. For the past 2 years, I have had one very basic yet surprisingly challenging expectation to which all Dayton staff are held. Being a good teammate is a non-negotiable. I can't help but think Ethan would approve. The other night, I had the pleasure of attending Dayton's annual alumni reunion, where generations of DHS grads come together at the barn on the edge of town to have a meal together and connect over shared stories of the past and shared hopes for the future. I got to meet some Dayton legends, and for the first time since I've been here, I felt welcomed at the family table. When my husband and I returned home that night, he told me that Terry asked him if I was happy in my role as superintendent, I think, not my marriage. Laughing, he simply told her no, he wasn't lying. I'm not happy. However, I'm guessing he didn't elaborate. It's important to me that the nuance is unpacked. I'm not happy in the same way that a parent is unhappy when her children are fighting. I'm unhappy in the same way a sister is unhappy when she's losing sleep about an argument she's had with her sibling. I'm unhappy in the same way most leaders would be when there are significant barriers to achieving success. But unhappy is not synonymous with unfulfilled or undetermined. The work we are doing in Dayton, I cannot underscore its importance enough. You've heard me talk about the school district becoming the community hub on which Dayton can count and of which it can be proud. For years, the district has been a source of divisiveness and has experienced too many moments of despair. There's been a lack of community, of hope, and at times of integrity, the very values we hold in the highest regard for our students, staff, and families. I've never chased happiness. Sometimes I think my greatest skill set is an almost egotistical tolerance for stress. What I cannot function without, however, is hope. And as we begin this new school year, the hope in the halls, in the classrooms, on the ball fields, and even in this boardroom is palpable. Recently, it was implied that our board blindly follows my will for the district or any decision I make on its behalf. I encourage the community to lean in and listen more closely because nothing could be further from the truth. My experience over the past 2 years is that this board embodies the kind of critical thinking, respectful disagreement, commitment to hard conversations, value-centered decision-making, and transparent, thoughtful strategizing that we're trying to empower in our staff and in our students. Rarely is there a unanimous vote when it comes to how we get where we're going, but there's always consensus about where we are going and what we want most for our students and what our vision of excellence entails. When the decision was made to hire me, Craig told the others something to the effect of, I would either crash this pirate ship into the rocky shore or I would take us confidently to the buried treasure. It's an accurate assessment, I think. With me, there is no idle, directionless floating. It's not in my nature or my skill set to play it safe or value caution over the mission. With movement, with forward momentum, there is risk, yes. But in setting sail, there is also hope. This crew has started rowing in unison, and they are rowing with determination. I want to assure the board, our staff, our students, their families, and the greater community that my vision, my commitment, and my work ethic on behalf of this district are unwavering as long as you continue to task me with being the captain of this ship. The leaders rowing alongside me are fallible and have made mistakes just like me, just like anyone who has the courage to lead. And there's no other crew I would choose for this mission. The hope that seeps through the cracks and is patching the holes of this ship is stained with their blood, their sweat, and their tears. Their spot has been earned outright. They've worked harder than their contracts dictate. They've put in the kind of emotional labor that leaves them leaning into discomfort every day. And they have taken a beating. Yet they are still here, showing up every day for their team. Yes, we are human. We came with messy pasts, messy hair, mostly me, a little rough around the edges, and some interesting attire. As I said before, I guess we're pirates after all. The Dayton School District is long overdue for greatness, and I've never witnessed greatness achieved by playing it safe. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to stand for something in our world today. Ethan stood for leadership and teamwork. Tonight, I'm following his lead and standing up for this team that we've built and standing up for our students who in the end knew that sometimes it actually is that simple. When we put the team first, before our individual agendas, opinions, or politics, we actually hold in our hands the treasure that we have been seeking all along. That's all I have.
Okay, that brings us to the discussions part of the agenda, which is the next scheduled events. There's a board work session Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, beginning at 6.
Another one?
We don't have to have it. It's just on the schedule.
She's retired, yeah.
I know.
Terry, you signed up for this at the beginning of the meeting, remember?
Yeah. The next regular board meeting, Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, beginning at 7. If there's no work session, it'll be at 6. And then the Oregon School Board Association Annual Convention, November 6th through 8th at the Portland Marriott Downtown Waterfront. Registration opens September 10th. If any of us want to go, let Stephanie or Molly know. Then that brings us to the next discussion point, the student memorial plaque. I'm looking for a motion to keep it where it is and as is.
So, bear with me, I'm confused, because I wasn't here last month.
Yeah.
So I missed a meeting. So, this is discussion, so we can't make a motion here. Right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's true.
So, and I'm not sure what we're discussing. Just, I'm confused, that's all. Help me.
Just our feelings on the plaque. Yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't have anything at the moment then.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
You know, as a Dayton student, I think walking through the halls, I'm new to Dayton, and personally, I never had the pleasure of meeting Ethan Kearns, and from everything I've heard, he's a wonderful he seems like a wonderful person, and I think when you walk through the halls, and I walk in the court every day to my classes, and I see that memorial, and it's not, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a beacon of hope, kind of, for the community and what he's done for Dayton. And I think moving it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be disrespectful per se, but I think where it's at is fine, just because it's a beacon of hope and it doesn't seem to bother any of the students. And I think kind of what Mr. Wilson has said was that he was never to get rid of it, but to move it. And I think that moving it is a disservice to the plaque and what it stands for.
Decision to
So-
keep it. Is that?
Larry, was this discussion item on the agenda just to help facilitate the public comment then?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think if there were any questions that existed as per the last discussion, there were still some questions that need the answer, which I don't know if they've been answered over the course of the last month or not.
I think you wanted to know if we had checked with council. about the legality of it. Okay. Okay,
So we have discussed and we can move on.
yes.
So I guess I just want to say that it's my belief that this was a student-led project, that it is protected speech. And that's really the end of where this matter goes, is that our youth have a right to put their beliefs out there, and if some folks disagree with that, I'm sorry. But no, I'm really not. I'm not sorry. That's just and if it was a person of another religion doing the same thing, it's protected speech, and that's kind of the end of it, and that's pretty much what council told us.
Well, and I'd like to make a, we're going to discuss, I guess I'd like to make a point too, that just for the people in the room, that we did have, and Amy did consult with legal before it was ever done or placed or put there, that the board and the school, we did have approval from legal counsel that it was a student-led project, it was freedom of speech, and that it was okay to do this. So just so you all know.
Okay. That brings us to the business part of the agenda, the approve the superintendent evaluation process, which you have in your packet.
And this is the same process
The
we've
same
had.
process we've had every year.
So I make a motion, we approve the superintendent evaluation process since it's the same process we've used for the last several years.
Okay, there's been a motion to approve the superintendent evaluation timeline for 2025-26 by Director Paysinger and seconded by Director Albright. There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Very quick
Oh,
question.
go ahead.
It looks to me like, I just want to double check the dates on the proposed calendar here. I assume have just been updated from like our last one to match what we have ahead of us. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 7-0. Okay, approve the alternative education programs. You have that in front of you.
And this sheet was updated by Eric Palacios recently to reflect the programs that we are partnering with in Dayton. Should you have any questions for him?
Are there any, I mean, is there anything significantly different worth just sharing here?
Eric, do you want to step up to the mic? Sorry.
Don't mean to put you on the spot, just, we get this stuff materials and the public doesn't get it. It's nice for them to hear sometimes.
I think, oh, thanks. I pretty much remember what I did, but the only difference is that I did remove the special programs in McMinnville and Newburgh. They were listed as options and they're pretty much full. And so purchasing slots in those programs really isn't an option for us. And so it didn't make sense to have it on there. And then I did update, I think it's updated. Yeah. Where is it on here? Phoenix School. So a program that's run through the Willamette ESD, a behavior program formerly known as Oasis, has changed its name and they have new leadership and really good people over there. So that was the only language I changed on that one. I think the rest is pretty much the same.
Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I move that we approve the alternative education program as presented.
Okay, got a motion to approve the 2025-26 alternative education program as presented by Director Whitowski. Seconded by Director Coleman. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 7-0. Next up is to approve the new propane contract for the next 3 years.
And I believe our it'll scoring in here, the propane contract with propane. Through the RFP process, should be right here. So there was a team of us that went through the proposals, of which there was only one. And then scored it as easy, 100 out of 100. points for Thompson Gas.
Is this who we use now?
No,
No.
use Matt Gas now.
It had been? No.
We're doing the tank swap-a-roo again, aren't we?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
And we're comfortable with these folks?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I make a motion then to approve the propane contract.
Second.
I have to declare a conflict of interest, so I will not be voting. So we have a motion to accept the propane contract as presented by Director Paysinger. I know, I couldn't remember who did it. And a second by Director Witowski, correct? There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 6-0. Okay. So now we're going to entertain community comments.
Larry, we have an overnight request, I think.
Oh, that's right. We added that. So we added something. We can do that. So we have an overnight request by Mitch for the three conventions or contests.
I move that we approve the request for overnight, entry overnight.
Yep.
Second.
I have a motion to accept the overnight requests from Director Sweeney and seconded by Director Witowski. If there's no discussion, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes 7-0. Okay, now we'll move on to community comment. This is opportunity for district citizens to speak on any item that they'd like to. Statements should be brief, limited to 3 minutes, and should not reflect adversely on the background, character, or motives of any individual. Those who wish to speak on that's where we're at. So first up is,
Because I didn't fill out.
I won't, yeah. First up, Cheryl Walsh. Just for the record, state your name and your address.
Cheryl Walsh, 20755 Southeast Neck Road, Dayton.
Okay.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity. After reading the school board minutes from last spring, I believe it was in June, the June 10th meeting minutes, I was happy to see that one of the initiatives was to raise the level of education, higher education at Dayton. It said in the meeting minutes that there was a survey of district staff and less than 50% believe that Dayton is providing a high quality education to our students. So I thought about what gets us to a higher level of education: quality classes, quality teachers, motivation of students. Through club events, community engagement, we get a higher level of student engagement. And when they connect with their teachers, we get a higher level of education. Multi-grade English teacher, avid educator, National Honor Society advisor, cross-country coach, community service organizer. That is Alicia Wilson. She is missed by many children. My children were incredibly disappointed that she was not present on the first day of school and has not been present since the first day of school. She's a high-quality teacher who raises the bar at Dayton, and it is my hope that she will be allowed to return to the classroom very soon. Thank you.
Okay. Jeremy.
I'll keep it quick. I'll try and be nice. I promise.
Just remember, no names.
No, it won't be a name. So this is obviously about the plaque. So I wrote a few notes. So it's about the plaque, about a certain couple. When they didn't get what they wanted, they started pursuing other avenues to reach attention that they're seeking hopes of getting any attention at all. That didn't happen. If you haven't had a chance to look up a certain couple, they've had similar incidents and patterns at multiple schools. I don't know if people looked it up. Lightest gray, that's a word. It's an alias he used. So look it up. You know, I did look it up in AI. That's a video game character. It's pretty clever. That's what he's going to use. I'm not claiming to be the smartest or smarter than anybody else, but I am smart enough to know when it comes to newcomer movement in Dayton, which he doesn't live here. I just found out he lives in Kaiser. Certain somebody. He's not even a community member, and we're letting him do this in our school. He stirs up a bunch of shit just purely on his personal agenda. This couple does not belong here. They have taken focus away from our kids, schools, and community. I feel the school is finally moving in the right direction. The last couple of years, what do we have to do to get rid of this problem? That's it.
Kathleen, yeah.
I'll try to make it quick. I thought I had 5 minutes, but. My name is Kathleen Brazel. I live at 6160 Southeast Webfoot Road, Dayton, Oregon. I came here as a concerned parent. I have 3 children who attend Dayton grade school. I'm a firm believer that raising strong, capable, and respectable young men and women starts in the home, but it also takes a village. And one of the key components of this village is the Dayton School District. I'm choosing to raise my family here because there are so many great things about this community and its long-lived traditions. The school district has had its struggles in recent years, and despite all the rumors, I have chosen to give it time and have faith that the appropriate measures would be taken to bring dignity, discipline, and confidence back into our school district. I have silently watched over the last 12 years as I have held various coaching positions in Dayton schools and entered my children into our schools. In that time, we have been through 3 or more superintendents, 3 or more principals at the high school, and I believe 4 athletic directors and countless staff changes. I would like to recognize all of the hard work that has been put into our schools by its teachers and staff, especially at the grade school. I have had the pleasure of volunteering and being involved with what is going on there. I am concerned, however, with the problems that seem to keep popping up in our middle school and high school. Our community has witnessed the public scandals and has heard about the private ones. When I heard rumors from various sources that a person with allegations of sexual misconduct with a student at a previous school was being hired at Dayton, I rolled my eyes thinking there is no way our school board or superintendent would allow that to happen, not with everything this community has been through in recent years with our schools. But then I came across on social media a certified document regarding a temporary employee of this Dayton school district. I will not be using his name because I'm sure you're all aware of the name on the document I'm referring to. The document reports that in December of 2015, one of this employee's former students came forward with an alleged allegation that in his first year of teaching at McMinnville High School, 1994-95, 20 years prior to the alleged allegations, he entered into an inappropriate sexual relationship with her, and she was at the time one of his underage students. During the investigation, he denied that the relationship was ever sexual, but then later in the document, it states that the victim provided copies of several notes and photos that she had kept that supported her description of the relationship. In other words, he lied. After the investigation, long story short, he lost his license. I get that this was 20 years ago, and he may be an awesome person, and he was a young teacher, and there's probably way more to the story than what was written in that document. But my concern is why in the world, after everything this district has been through and the blemishes on its reputation, why would anyone risk hiring anyone in any position that has this on their record? Did you think the parents wouldn't care, or did you think that we wouldn't find out? And now it has yet caused another scandal that would have been completely avoided had he never been hired. It's unfortunate that you have lost the trust of some of the parents in this community to the point that they are transferring their kids to other schools or choosing to homeschool. And if trust isn't instilled soon, we'll probably be losing more from the district. I have faith in this district, and I have faith in its administrators. I am hoping that this poor decision is a one-time occurrence and not the beginning of a pattern. We all know we need higher standards for our students, but we most certainly need higher standards for our educators and our district's employees. As a parent who has children who will be entering middle school in 2 years, I hope that better choices will be made. I truly am rooting for this administration, and as a parent, I'm willing to do whatever I can do to support it. But I cannot, in good conscience, support the irresponsible choice to hire a person who has a documented record of sexual misconduct with a student, whether they are working directly with students or not. And I would like to know what will be done in the future to ensure a hire like this does not happen again. I know that I'm not alone when I say I would love to see our schools get back to the values that made this place great in the first place, and I hope that you will be the ones to do it. Thank you for your time.
Benji, you're up.
Follow her. You ain't gonna like what I got to say. Come on, buddy. I do love her. Love you too, buddy. Thought you love me.
Crazy uncle.
Discussion about an hour ago.
Crazy uncle, back up. I just want to say, falling on my sword one other time for a young lady He's here tonight, our new junior high administrator. And I got ridiculed for that too. I'm gonna do it again tonight. Not for her, she don't need no help. Kathleen, we can talk about this afterwards if you want. This administrator he performed in depth improving our athletic program and mentoring our current athletic director. He saved us from losing $50 to $100,000 in our Title IX lawsuit. I'm blind, so it's hard to read my phone. He built a cross-country program. He built a flag football program. He brought on an athletic trainer, which has been huge. He created the hiring protocol process. He created online athletic registration process. He mentored both the superintendent and the other administrators in a leadership audit tied to the Oregon administrative standards. He is the guy that proposed removal of the athletic fee that we all hated paying, $150 for every sport. We all thought it was just idiotic. He was the one that got that changed, and the school board generated and presented drawings for a proposed athletic facility down at the grade school. He coordinated the development and building of the softball batting cage and also the new weight room, which is gorgeous. He expanded coaching opportunities for almost all sports and stipends and created the amount of female coaches and female athletes in the school. When we're short for kids, he's the one that can talk them into playing because he believes in kids and puts them first. He developed a new budget tool and format to improve comprehension and help direct our finances. He expanded opportunities for youth sports. He created safety and security procedures for after-school activities to keep kids out of trouble. And I can go on and on. I got 20 more things here that I wrote down because I've worked very close with him. I've known him for 20 years. I know his whole family. When he went through this, he lost 30 pounds, almost lost his wife and family. He did lose his job. He was not arrested. There was no the bad part you were talking about. I saw no proof of that. And
Wrap it up, Ben.
he's just a quality individual, and I'm going to fall on my sword for him today and say, I think he is a great person for the Dayton School District. Now, Kathleen can beat me up because I'm blind afterwards.
Hmm.
You have to see her coming first, bench. Pretty good.
Okay, if there's nothing else, then, oh, go ahead. Who's raising hand?
Hello, can I be heard?
Yep.
Yep, okay. First off, I want to say what an amazing job the two young high schoolers that are sitting at the table with you this evening have done. What a meeting to be thrown into for your first representation. What an amazing job they're doing. I also want to shout out to Quinn for showing up and standing up and raising her awareness and her voice for something that she believes in, because not enough kids do that today. I also want to say that you've heard a lot of metaphors tonight, a lot of hyperbole, a lot of politicians playing semantics. But what you lack, what we are lacking is substance. From our leaders, we're lacking clarity. So what metaphors do is cloud and allowed for interpretation. And we're missing out on legal policy. One of the things that was said tonight about Craig was that he was willing to crash the ship into the rocky shores or sail off into the sunset. I don't want my kid on a ship that's willing to sacrifice her life for
Hey,
his.
Justin, we're not
Yeah?
saying we're not saying names.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't mean, it was said earlier, so I apologize. My belief is that the reason that all of this has come about the plaque, is a distraction and a deterrent from the issue that several parents have raised that I found out about at the last board meeting when we put on full time an individual who has a history of sexual violence for people under the age of 18. When I learned of this changed from the focus of the plaque to this individual. What happens with the plaque is the choice of the community, is the choice of the administration, and is the choice of whatever happens. We don't believe that our voice is the final voice, but we want is a voice. And up until now, we have not been afforded that. No one has listened to us in any way, shape, or form. The only meeting that I had, I was told I couldn't speak at, and I was kicked out of the building. What we are talking about here is an individual who is unable to be around students. And any individual that is willing to put our
That's not true.
any individual that is allowed to put that individual around our students is not deserving to be our leader. And the list that was just provided.
Now you're talking about
leaders,
another person on the board. Stop it.
I'm not talking about anybody on the board. The individual of the list that was just
You're
provided.
talking about someone in the administration.
No, I'm not. There was a list.
Yes, you are. Don't argue with me.
Yes, sir. All of the lists that were provided are the same type of behaviors that could be found with Jerry Sandusky. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Wait, I think he's got the order out of order. Order was, he didn't get his way. Yep. Right? And then he went after the administrator because he didn't get his way.
Yeah.
Didn't he send text messages to students and staff at the last school? How come we didn't talk about?
We need to bring this back, Larry.
Yeah, no,
We're attacking his character.
no, I know,
We've been booted out of 3 different.
we're done with public comment now, so, okay. So,
Jeff.
oh, Jeff, go ahead.
I just want to say, I fully appreciate your role in this situation. If you remember from my meeting when I did my interview, I said that I was a recovering board member from the Dayton School District because doing COVID and hiring 3 superintendents was a challenge. I also want to say too, I have the utmost respect for all the board members in this room. You have one of the hardest unpaid jobs that are out there. And I also want to say too, I so appreciate your support on focusing on kids and what is the right thing to do. I also want to say too, I put this on the Facebook post, but as you know, I was the only board member who did not vote for Amy. And I was very clear that that was that part, and that's in the meeting minutes. And I just want to say I am very proud of her leadership through these trials, and it gives me hope. As you know, my wife was there and taught in Dayton for 26 years. And there's a lot of areas where I think that we were starting to grow and we were starting to move forward. And then we had a distraction, and then we started to move forward and we had a distraction. And it gives me hope today. I don't have any kids in the district. I don't work for the district. My wife doesn't work in the district. So we really have no connection to the school district at this point anymore. But I finally have hope that we are going to gain positive momentum. And I just want to say thank you for your commitment to our kids. Thank you, Dr. Fast, for everything you do as well. And I really just hope that you as a board, you have one employee, as you know that, and your job is to take care of that one employee. And I really hope that you take that role serious because let's be honest, there's not a lot of superintendents out there willing to step in this role post-COVID, and you have a real gem, and I just hope that you protect her.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, there's no one else now. We're going to go into executive session. This section specifically permits executive session to consult with counsel about legal rights and duties. Representatives of the news, media, and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive session. All other members of the audience are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed not to report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said about these subjects during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the session. As previously announced, no decision may be made in executive session. At the end of the executive session, we will return to open session. Welcome the audience back into the room if anyone is still here. I'm going to close this part of the meeting at 8:15. To be presented.
Sure. I would like to make a motion that the school board approve the hiring of legal counsel to initiate a defamation lawsuit on behalf of Amy, our superintendent.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion to hire legal counsel to represent Dr. Amy Fast, outside counsel to represent Dr. Amy Fast in litigation by Director Paysinger and seconded by Director Sweeney. There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
I vote yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
I would like to make a second motion, the same motion that the board hire outside counsel to proceed with the defamation lawsuit on behalf of Sean Berkey.
I'll second that.
There's been a motion to hire outside counsel to represent Sean Burke in litigation for defamation of character by Director Paysinger and seconded by Director Albright. There's no discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
I vote no.
5 yes, all voting or opposed. Okay, motion passes 5-2. Okay, that brings us to the end of the meeting, board reflection. First of all, it's an interesting meeting, first night, isn't it? So I'm glad you do. Ryan, Kendra, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's not
thank you.
normally like this. It's rather boring. A lot of times we just talk about policy and listen to reports. What I'd like out of you two is each month when you come back, maybe in between like now and the next meeting, meet with kids, meet with groups, find out what they like about school, what we were doing well and the opportunity, but what the opportunities they'd like to have that maybe we might not know because we're not in the school talking to the kids, the administrators are. But if you could have little group chats or whatever and say, hey, the board's interested in helping us there. That's actually a group of people that care about the students. Give us your opinions. And so we can give a report about how you feel.
Question.
Yeah.
I know you can't tell kids it's just a lot of things, but do we know what we're gonna do about English class and what Miss Wilson is teaching and the absence of Miss Wilson?
I can't speak to personnel issues yet, and I don't know yet, sorry, but we will notify you as soon as we do.
That's fine. Good question. though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always ask.
So next meeting, if you could bring us something about the feel of the building, if the students are happy, the students want this. They can't say they want their cell phones back. The governor took care of that. So,
I'm in favor of that.
yeah. So board reflection. Ann, you got anything? It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Yeah. Veronica? Greg?
I'm just ready to get back to really truly the business of the district, and I just hope those that purport to have the best interests of kids at heart actually take a look at the mirror and ask if they're doing what's best for kids.
Piper?
Well, I did want to tell Quinn that I thought that your presentation was great. I felt like you did such a good job of balancing. I mean, you didn't come in defensive, you came in with information, you came in with a lot of compassion, and I just thought you did a great job. That's my word reflection.
All right.
I guess I would like to tell Amy that you've been through a lot. It's a lot. And you're handling like a pro. And I'm proud of you. And thank you for all you're doing for us. And I can't thank you enough. And we're gonna get through this together as a board, as a community, as a staff. We got this, okay? And I think we're making progress and we're gonna.
Thank you. Thank you, John.
We're gonna make this happen and we're gonna get through it. And just hang in there with us, okay?
I will. Thank you. Can I have one more thing for Amy is, your Facebook post. My daughter's very, she worked in the legislature. She's very much a writer. She's very much about presenting things well, presenting yourself well. And she commented at least twice what a good job you did in that post, that it gave hope for those looking at Dayton, wondering if this is the place for them. And so I just wanted to give you that feedback that it was very thoughtful and.
I really am not trying to be political with my writing or speaking. I'm trying to bring hope and unity to the district. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you got a ton of reaction on the board.
Do Facebook, what'd you post?
I emailed it, I think,
Oh,
You emailed it,
your
yeah.
board report?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
or similar, something similar. Yeah.
well, there's, yeah.
It's hard to keep up on the emails lately. If you're forgiven.
It was different, but yeah,
Yeah.
same gist. Yeah.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. I do check on Amy. I text her sometimes at 9:30 at night. You okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
I text you
So-
during the day.
Yeah, but I'm making sure, she's taken care of. So, yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I mentioned to her, Piper, you, Terry, and I, and Craig and Ann probably know the community the most. You do too, but you're a lot younger than we are. So, we know this community and we know what it stands for and who it stands by. So, it has the memory of about 5 minutes and then they move on to the next thing. So, Quinn, you're a very outstanding young woman.
Agreed.
So,
Yeah.
you have a big future in this world. Don't let anybody scare you off. Say what you want to say. So I've long lived of, you can say whatever you want about me. I'm a good person, so you're wrong. So, nothing affects me. And so if you have the attitude and you just believe in what you believe, you're gonna go a long ways. So that's all I have to say. We fully support you. The teachers support you. I think you know that whole building.
Thank you.
So we'll get through it.
Really good hire on others.
Oh, good.
She
I haven't
is
worked with her yet.
not quite sure what year, late 90s. She was on our national food science.
Oh,
that
97.
one.
I think I did know.
Yeah.
Familiar. I was
Yeah.
like, she's a Dayton alum. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, I'm gonna close the meeting at 9 o'clock.